My next guest is the highest ranked woman in Swiss watches, I would say watches in general. Ilaria Resta became the new chief executive of Audemars Piguet earlier this year, following 2 decades of consumer goods giant Procter & Gamble. Now, analysts say her mission is to stabilize the brand and capitalize on its transformation from a watchmaker to a luxury house. Well, I'm delighted that Ilaria Resta joins me now. Thank you so much. Welcome to Bloomberg and welcome to London, Ilaria Resta. When you look at some of the challenges ahead, how's it going? You've been in charge for a year. There are things that you wanted to do. Are they at speed?
Yes, they are at speed. Of course, as soon as I joined the market, new reality hit, which is in a way a blessing in disguise, because it gave me the chance honestly to focus on the strategies and rethink about the growth opportunities moving forward and stabilize this business before continuing the growth.
Ilaria, when you look at your main markets, I know China was a big one with a lot of question marks today. We have stimulus. The U.S., the biggest, of course, market for watches. How are those going?
We are very well balanced in terms of presence by market, so we are not affected by the downward trend in China. We are actually very well spread by country, by region, so we continue a solid growth. We're very happy about what we put in place for the future. So far we are not affected by the macroeconomic instability.
I mean, the waiting list, of course, for a watch is huge. Does it mean that as a customer now, I have a shorter list to get the watch I want?
We continue having high demand, and we continue luckily so continue proceeding with our production strategy, which is highly manual, highly elevated in terms of horological signatures. So we try to push more complications. Because of that, of course, it's a long process of production, and it takes months, if not years, to develop a new watch.
Ilaria, you almost came as an outsider to the watch industry. What have you learned over the last 12 months?
Well, definitely an outsider. I've never worked in this industry, and it has been a wonderful discovery. Definitely is a different dynamic from the FMCG world where I come from a publicly traded company, and now work in a family company with a different governance. But definitely the common points are the leadership needs, the value creation work that I have to do. Of course, it's a completely different time horizon. Producing a watch is a very, very long investment in time. Sometimes it takes even 10 years to develop a watch. They're quite the opposite of FMCG dynamics.
How many watches do you make? Around 50,000 or 51,000?
That's pretty much where we are.
Will it pretty much? I mean, are you trying to increase that, or actually is demand so important, or is the scarcity of it so important that you'll stay around these figures?
It's not about the scarcity. It's about our strategy of production and manufacturing, which is focused on elevating the complications and the innovation of watchmaking. That's why we focus much more on research, and these activities require time. We want to continue doing what we used to do in the past 150 years ago, which is developing and advancing horological invention, and high-end, high complications are important in the mix of products. So we are complicating more our portfolio.
And so what's the magic in that? Once you have the product, is it how you sell? Is it influencers? Is it, you have the brand is very well known also inside rap music, which has given it an extra leg upwards.
Well, it starts from the watchmaker. When you go to the bench of a watchmaker, you feel the passion and the emotion of the watchmaker passing this passion and emotion in an object, in a timepiece. And it's incredible how this emotion can travel all the way to the final client. And that's why we're very happy to have a direct distribution, because this allows us really to tell stories and to explain what it takes for that specific watch to end on the wrist of our client.
How much do you want to diversify? I know, for example, there's still plans to boost sales of the code 1159, but you have the Royal Oak really dominating the sales.
We want to diversify, first of all, from a client standpoint. We are underdeveloped among women, which is an industry phenomenon. And now we see women actually being more and more interested in mechanical watchmaking and high-end mechanical watchmaking. We are breaking the bias that women are much more interested in jewelry watches or quartz watches. In reality, They are extremely interested in mechanical watches. They are becoming collectors. And by 2030, we estimate that 45% of buyers will be women. And they will buy themselves and build themselves their collection. So no longer the stereotype of the man buying watches for women. So we are trying to cater to women, cater to new generations of clients, and hence our portfolio will be adjusted to these clients.
I mean, does a female buyer shop differently, for example, in Switzerland or France compared to the US or China?
That's what we're indeed analyzing and studying. There is a different retail environment and ceremony that women are looking for. They love actually education, so that's why we're organizing master class for women to go behind the scene of developing a watch. We put actually watches in their hands. We dismantle with them just to show what the mechanical movement is. And it's incredible how much they are very interested into the mechanical elements of watchmaking. So we're moving much more into storytelling than selling, real workshop, hands-on activities with women, but also with new generations.
Ilaria, I mean, there was this report from Deloitte showing actually that the watch industry was failing to make and market watches that women wanted to buy.
Yes.
I mean, do you have a percentage of sales target that you have towards women? How much do you sell to women now, and how much do you want to sell in 5 years?
We are in the range of 20%, pretty much like the market. We aim at mirroring the market reality. We don't want to be behind the market. We want to offer women the watches they want. The starting point has been not listening to women from the entire industry. I think there were so many stereotypes that we are trying to break. And also it's important that we stop separating the market between women watches and men watches, because this is not the way women think about the category, nor men, by the way.
Rolex, I know, is making big inroads with certified pre-owned programs. Will Audemars go the same way?
We are working on it as a service for clients. It's been a while. We have been working on this program, and now we will be ready in 2025.
I mean, there's also a lot of speculation, or at least talk about Vauchoir movement and the fact that there could be a consortium. This is a Swiss company that makes some of your movement parts. I mean, would you like to be involved? Does it make more sense for a watchmaker to have in charge of all the supply chain?
What matters to us is that we ensure that the industry is well served by our suppliers, and we create an ecosystem where we can be codependent. We have always worked in Switzerland with this system of établissage. That's how Audemars Piguet was born. We were at the center as a project manager of watches and working with different companies, families, sometimes expert in specific movements. We want to continue to have a healthy balance of partnership with external. At the same time, we need to start owning and mastering also the production of some elements. Like ceramic, for example, is an important material for us that we start producing ourselves. But we believe in the balance of external internal capabilities.
Ilaria, when you look at, I mean, every day we talk about geopolitics and the Trump tariffs. Does it impact a company like Audemars?
We don't see this impact after the election in the U.S. At this stage. U.S. continues being the biggest market, and the one actually that even in 2023 has posted the strongest growth. We have high demand. Also, given our relatively small size, we are not so affected by geopolitical fluctuations.
So what's your biggest problem solving? I mean, over the next 12 months, if you look at your 3 priorities.
My priority is, first of all, ensuring that we set the foundation. I set the foundation for this company to thrive and live for the next 150 years as an independent company, because we want to remain independent. And to do so, innovation and research is critical. We need to continue being ahead of the game. There is another pillar of the strategy, which is client centricity. You have seen it, women on one side, the new generations, they all come with a completely different approach to retail, to purchasing, but also to type of watch they want, dimension, complications. So we need to be listening, and then sustainability is becoming more and more a topic also in watchmaking, and we need to be ahead there.
When you look at the independence of the brand, again, the rumors about LVMH or other big companies taking an interest in Audemars, do you think the family would ever sell?
No. we are really committed to remain an independent company. It's part of the DNA of the company. It's thanks to this independence that we are able to do the wonderful timepieces we do, and being focused in Le Valet des Joues, which is our cradle where we started. We want to guarantee also certain continuity of way of doing business and timepieces. So we are committed to that.
You've been in charge for a year, and that means, of course, changes as you brought in new people. Are you halfway there, 90% there of the team that you want to have built?
90% there. The team is almost complete and ready to start, but I'm also very glad to have a wonderful equipe of watchmakers in manufacturing, in other departments that are very solid. They have a wonderful team that supports me.
Do you have a favorite watch? I don't feel like I should. I don't know if it's like asking if you have a favorite child.
I have a favorite, and you shouldn't ask, because it's true. It's like children. Today I'm wearing a code, which is actually a watch that a model that I really, really love. But my favorite complication by far is the perpetual calendar.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us, Ilaria Resta, there with all the incredible movements that Audemars Piguet has to do to make some of these watches. The chief executive there of AP Watches.